The Poetry Yacht. Thank you very much for inviting me, Phil and Marcia. Marcia, it's great to see you even briefly again. Kevin and Patty, it's great to see you again. I don't know the other people, but you all seem very, very nice, and I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm going to read for about 19, 20 minutes. And I'm going to read from 3 books, give you kind of a taste of those 3 books, the latest 3 books I've written. First book I'm going to read from is called Little Eternities. And it's, chasing the idea of time around. And the second book I'm reading about is from the J horoscope, which gives a different point of view of old stories, especially from Genesis. And then the third book is Speaking in Riddles, which might make a good title for a regular poetry book if you're obscure. But this is really riddles that I made up. And because poetry and riddles are both so ancient and they belong in the same family. So I'm going to read 3 then from Little Eternities. Time traveler, you are leaving or arriving, all the same in deep time. Paleolithic, pharaonic, outer galactic, or old Gallic, all the same in deep time. In your place, you are here today. You can film it, you can pin it down in ink, you can try, but no one's seen it like you've seen it. I have seen you in your jacket, once a robe on an ancient Hittite tablet. And words carry time too. This word is from the 1300s, time, T-H-Y-M-E. Old single syllable word with an old-fashioned TH, beginning. An ancient consonant compound that lodges back of the front teeth and turns an H under tongue pressure into common T to usher out a quaint Y, sounding just like long I today. A trick older than a handmade lace collar that startles the dark bodice it circles. Elegant in form, Y is as totally at home mid-word as a tool in its chest. And neighbor to M, a favorite human sound, which floats away with the silent E. A miracle the E hasn't been dropped. Its gnomic little happiness defending the presence of the useless. A tale in nothingness. Whether recognized or not, the E hangs on for dear life. Inaudible as fragrance. Maybe carrying an important message from silence. And then the last poem I'll read is called Little Eternities. It gives its name to the book, or I just took its name for the book. Little Eternities. An energetic but murky mating in the bog. Frogs thicken the muck, no leg room between. Not like patio chairs arranged to stand apart from each other. Not like families separated by miles or rage. Not like ghosts of those long gone. Rather like crowding into a blinding urge to dwell intensely. Look at shimmering leaves in sunlight. They never move alone, unless you remember autumn's last leaf dangling on a branch. But you won't. In spring, you won't favor a clan of faded ladies. I too deadhead to abet the next blossom. Once I walked in a field of peonies, of every color and ruffled petal. Blue dragonflies also visited. The rain had stopped, and the sun hadn't yet unleashed its strongest beat. Thus around noon, for long moments, we were all together. I'll just have a little sip of water. Incidentally, Phil, you're not the only person who has had trouble with my last name. It's pronounced Chmielarz, but I've heard everything. Right. So now I'm going to read from the J horoscope. Mango. The color surprised us, flew over us in the eye of a bird in feathers. We couldn't get enough of it. Not salmon, not tangerine, mango. It turned our teeth pink. Each laugh was a bite of it. We left hatred behind for mango, even blame, which we couldn't let go of quite. Even our blame drummed mango, mango to our ears. We danced to mango, close like lovers. Mango's sweetness melted us into life. Yahweh the Stork talking about the family. I've seen it all. The father who killed his son, the sons who threw their brother down a well, the father-in-law who ordered his son's wife burned to ash. It's happened under orange roofs on this very street where nary a wind stops. From the town's light pole, my nesting place, I watch a kid on a curb kicking stones, yearning for something more, like new relatives. Though if these relatives arrive, park their blue car at the front gate, tumble out helloing, spilling their stories and habits all over the living room, they'll truss the kid up with their family ties. The next day I deliver another baby, a bundle of trust. Yes, babies have to trust. That's the first unspoken contract with the world, the first forgotten. Okay, so here we go with the boatman's wife. And if you want to chat, use your chat board, you can guess whom I'm talking about. The boatman's wife. She spent mornings on the ark corralling the stupid hens. Not one head whacked off for dinner. In the aviary, birds shivered watching her search nests which they with difficulty had hidden. She wished she could shit like a bird before taking off and fly straight out of this whole mess. In storms, bailing out the boat or hunting down loose snakes, she longed for books left on the shelf at home. Joseph Campbell, James George Fraser. Thinkers. Unlike the boatman, who believed every damned raindrop was prophecy, throwing his head back, gulping rain down, letting his beard grow long and ratty. He numbered the days in charcoal marks on the walls, and evenings fashioned tiny eaves from rib bones. She never should have married him, penned in for the rest of her houseboat life. How long would that last? At least she could save the birds. At least this one dove. So is anybody guessing who that was? Yes, Frances Coke gets the sucker, Noah's wife. She never did have a name, so I named her the boatman's wife, gave her some background, what she liked to do. All right. Well, here's a woman that's named in the title, Eve's daughter, Marilyn. A piece of work. Those bought and hung in the gallery, where she studied resemblances between Picasso's jar and Roy Lichtenstein's, Picasso's mistress and Jasper Johns, she understanding an iota about the masters. Face me, look beautiful, big smile now. Let me see you without the blouse on. Listen, she snubbed them in that ravishing way blondes have when a gallery guard is watching. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, his mouth dropping open, eating his curds and whey. Reaching for his pocket, he stuck in his thumb and pulled out a blackberry. What a good boy am I. In dazzling spiked heels, she paused for full effect over the floor vent, her white skirt a swirl around two long, tammed lovelies. All eyes in heaven bugged at her masterpiece. It was the beginning of the world. All right, now let's do some riddles together. This little book has 101 riddles, including the one on the cover, and solutions. And I learned what a riddle was in my grandmother's attic in North Dakota, where she had all of her stuff that she took when she came over from Germany before the First World War. And in it was a book of Mother Goose rhymes. And there were some riddles in it, and I'd never heard of the word riddle before, so that's how I found out about riddles. All of the riddles in that book were one-liners. These riddles are a little bit longer, but not as long as some of the ancient riddles, which could go on for 2 pages. And I think almost every culture has riddles in it, but I haven't done any research on that. All right, here's riddle number 1. I numbered them because if I titled them, I would give away what the solution was. Using one of my agents, lamp or flare, metaphor or window, I wake you. I am the master of arousal, strong. I can wake any creature. Let's have a few guesses. I am the master of arousal. I can wake any creature. My agents, lamp or flare, metaphor or window. Fire is a good guess. Jeanette Clow gets the prize. Dawn, you're very close, Peg Gwynn. I was thinking of the sun, but the best, I mean, that's what it will say in the solution page. It says, call it seagull, soul or ray, imagine the earth without it. But what's fun about riddles is if you do them with other people, even if you do them by yourself, you make a stab at what you think it is, and then you look up the solution, and then you get to see if you're with other people. How like dawn, yeah, it has to do with light. Fire, has to do with light, the sun. The sun is on fire. All right, enough of the science, which you don't know what you're talking about anyway, Sharon. Let's go on to riddle 48. He's petite and darkly bridal in his virgin ivory linen, fluttering gilded ribbons as he struts toward his torrid groom, who did not want to enter into this ceremony, but is willing to flirt with passion and even ravish the bride sprawled now under his legs. Prudish death is impartial as to who rises from the dust. He's petite, virgin ivory linen, fluttering with ribbons, a torrid groom who do not want to enter this ceremony, but willing to flirt with passion. The bride is sprawled under his legs. Yes, Jennifer Kelly, I'm talking about a bullfighter, a toreador. This beautiful, ghastly, violent, bloody, murderous. The torrid groom did not want to enter into this ceremony. The bull. All right, let's do a couple more. 52. He holds it like he'd hold a guitar when playing rapido or staccato, firing off his Johnny one note. Can't tell what key that's in, but now everybody's flying in slow motion shadow. There are no spaces between notes in his riff. That is not pretty. That is bloody. He's spent hours imagining reaching an audience. He holds it like he'd hold a guitar when playing rapido or staccato. He has a Johnny one note. You can't tell what key it's in, but everybody's flying. There are no spaces between notes in his riff. That is not pretty, that is bloody. That is Peg Gwynn again, second time saying it's a shooter. I'm thinking of a mass murderer using a semi-automatic weapon. He's got his gun right up here and he's got, these are really dark, these two. So I'll just go with something lighter, but are the others, are you who are not volunteering solutions getting the same solutions as these people are? Have you got your chat board open so you can follow it? All right, you're just holding back a little bit. Don't want to overwhelm us with your astuteness. All right. I can be dark and somber. I can be bright as sequins, many sequins sewn on. I can host a moon, a cat, or a snout, or even your embroidered name. My trouble, I muffle. My mantra, semper fidelis. My motto, do or die. Chuck Olson, why do you say I am waiting for an answer to occur? Before you put in your answer, and then you'll I can be dark and somber. I can be bright as sequins. Yeah, I can see why you might say night for that. I can host a moon, a cat, or a snout. My trouble, I muffle. My mantra, semper fidelis. My motto, do or die. Chuck Olson, I would have been eaten by the Sphinx before I could come up with a riddle answer. But you got to guess. You just guess, even if you haven't got this. But the winner goes to Anita McLaughlin, who says a mask, which is why Phil doesn't want to meet, wants to keep on using Zoom, right? Because he doesn't want to get into do or die. All right, I think that's all I have. Did I run?